inside. No radio inside. Nothing of value's been left. So don't break in. No, don't break in. No radio inside. My heart is open wide, unbroken, though they've tried to drown me in their grief. The sediment and leaves, the dust on record sleeves. My heart is open wide. No radio inside. No radio inside. Nothing of value's been left. So don't break in. No, don't break in. No radio inside.
Brian Ember playing No Radio Inside. Welcome to Acoustic Thursday at Studio 51 on WNHH FM, when we bring the tiniest tiny desk in the universe.
It is small.
It is small. To hear some of our most talented local musicians playing live for us, stripped down. Brian Ember's on today. Thanks so much for coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm delighted. I'm so we were supposed to do this last month, but
you got that
I
dreaded.
I got the big C. Well, actually, the medium C, isn't it? You know,
and you survived.
I did. I got COVID and dealt with my son recovering from some spinal fusion surgery. So
this really sounds
big month.
A little bit awful.
It's for scoliosis, and it's invasive, but we have some good doctors in New Haven, so
we do.
It is helpful. Yeah.
And we have good musicians as well. You've been around a long time. How long have you been around?
I've been in New Haven for 20 years now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you had the Tet Offensive string quartet.
I had a string quartet rock band called the Tet Offensive that I had started when I was in New York, and we flourished here for a number of years.
I always loved the name.
Thank you. It was because my friend, asked me to do this gig, and he knew I was at music school, and he said, "Could you play a Nirvana song as a string quartet?" And I thought, sure, but I didn't have a name at all, and he threatened me. He said, "If you don't come up with a name, I'm going to call you the Brian Robinson String Band." And I thought that was horrible. So
right, sounds like acoustic Appalachian.
Oh, it was like like Starlight Vocal Ensemble or something. It was like we're going to do Afternoon Delight, and so I thought we're a string quartet, and sometimes we're a quintet or a sextet. And so I thought that word "tet" kept coming back.
Oh.
And I thought,
how clever.
What sounds badass with the word "tet"? And I thought, well, the Tet Offensive.
Yes, and it had an application.
Even if you don't know the history, right, there's something there. And I have offended people. Well,
if you haven't, what's the point, right?
Exactly.
So you got this song you played. It's a new song, No Radio Inside.
Yeah, that was a new a song that will be on our upcoming album called "Get Ready to Hate Me." which I hope will be coming out at the end of the year or early next year.
And that'll be under Brian Ember.
Brian Ember is the performing name there. I have 2 albums out, an EP and an LP already.
The New Chastity was the most recent.
New Chastity was the first one that came out in 2019. My timing was impeccable. I released that right before the pandemic. And the EP just came out last month. It's called Thank You. And that was I'm really proud of it.
And then you're going to have an EP at the end of the year, Get Ready to Hate Me.
Yeah, Get Ready to Hate Me is going to be a full-length album. It's going to be 12 songs.
I don't think I can do that based on songs. I really like that song.
Thank you.
And so it's new, and it was interesting to begin with the title.
Yeah.
So you're the as we call it in journalism, like the shot into like the basic facts of what's happening. It's about everyone's getting their cars broken into, right?
Yeah, it was a big thing back in New York, seeing people's dashboards, when you're walking by. It just said no radio inside.
And the West Coast is like a rite of passage in the city. So
right.
You can't not have your radio.
Yeah, and they, of course, newer cars, they solved, it was a brilliant way to solve the problem. They just made everybody's radios better, so you didn't need to steal a radio anymore for your old car. And that happened around the 2000s.
Wait, explain that.
So this is the whole thing. I'm so excited to get to do some civic, So, in the 80s and 90s and 70s, people were putting hi-fis in their cars, and getting them stolen all the time, and anti-theft devices were being invented and things, but they weren't working. And so the car companies finally had this like revelation. And really, they should apply it to politics in general. What if we made everybody's radio good? Like even the Toyota and the Hyundai, let's make their radios awesome also. And there's no impetus, there's no temptation anymore to steal, because you already have a good radio in your system, in your car. And it just completely obliterated radio thefts from cars.
And do people get good? Because I know there was this competitiveness among the car thieves with how many seconds can you get the screwdriver to open the car.
Yeah.
That's usually 10 more to the Toyota.
Yeah.
But they were also getting the radio out.
Yeah, so they're not getting radios out anymore.
No,
they're still stealing cars. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you're referring to the period when they went after the radios, then improved it, or people don't use that sign anymore when they're all getting broken into, because other stuff's getting broken, like they steal the car.
I'm aging myself now, is what's happening. Yeah. I'm hearkening back to a time when it was.
But it's relevant because there's a new wave of break-ins.
The Kia Boys.
So I don't want to and it's not just the Kia Boys, and they have outposts everywhere.
Right.
But people are getting either the parts or underneath the car for the carburetors, but also the
catalytic converters.
Yeah. But also, a part of the whole fentanyl thing on the West Coast is they're just taking whatever they can out of a car.
Yeah, exactly, and scrapping it.
But is it relevant? This is a little bit, maybe pushing you further than you want to go. Is there something from the lesson you take from that song what you're trying to express about car theft and how the companies could just make better cars for everybody? It would seem to me like you were talking about whether we just made quality lives for everybody and opportunities for everybody.
That was what I was getting at.
Yeah.
There.
So does that fit into what we're hearing today? Is that too much of a stretch?
No, the song is actually much more emo than that. It's more that when you're guarded and protected emotionally, and you don't want to have your heart stolen. Your radio essentially, you put out that sign on your dashboard that there's not even a radio here. Don't even bother. Don't try to get into me. Don't try to figure out who I am. Don't try to break in. There's nothing here to take. And and then the second verse, I wrote that verse in like 2002. Honestly, It was a long time ago, and I never had a second verse for it. And I finally came up with that about 3 years ago. My heart is open wide, unbroken, though they've tried to drown me in their grief. Just the whole idea of it is a counterpoint to that sentiment.
And is that part of what you were talking about before, that just like on the literal level of protecting against that kind of theft by being more open and providing more opportunity? How does that translate into personal life? If you're hurt, you're scared of getting hurt again, you're not open.
You're guarded. You become
by opening up. What happens?
Well, that's where age is helpful. After enough relationships, you start to understand how to function and how to be a more open and complete person for your partners.
Boy, this is such a great song. And when I was listening, because I'm very old, I was thinking of Strings. I was thinking of late period Beatles. I was thinking Mott and the Hoople. When you start strumming the minor chord and then you're kind of descending on the bass a little bit, a half step at a time.
Yeah.
It kind of has sort of an ominousness to it that strings bring out. How do you, on the album, how do you orchestrate it?
It's right now it's very spare because we're still working on it. We have some trumpet hits in there and drums and the acoustic guitar and the vocals and bass. It's really,
Well, I
kind
can
of
see
bare
the
bones
bass
right
seems pretty important.
The bass is really important in this song.
And that's bare bones, but you just mentioned 4 different musical elements. Might that, if it's kind of that kind of ominous sound, might that be enough?
It might be, and that's what we'll play with over the next couple of months.
Fun! I want to see how it turns out.
I can't wait for you to hear it. Yeah,
and then I'm going to let you go on this finally because I'm just getting so interested in it. But you talked about how you're training, classical training, starting out with string quartets and all that, and septets. You didn't mention strings. Do you think a trumpet and a bass, and I'm guessing it's a soft bass, not like occasional notes, with a lot of echo. What is that kind of taking the places of what we would normally have thought of? With strings would have been the automatic play on this song in the past.
Yeah.
Are you thinking of something different here, moving different from the strings?
I'm trying. I mean, I was inspired a lot by because I wrote the melody and the chords and everything in the early 2000s. So I was very influenced by trip hop and like Radiohead, from the Kid A period and stuff. So I was thinking, at that point about like breakbeats and things, and I'm actively trying to, because I fear my insecurity musically is that people think that I'm doing like a genre thing. Like this is Brian's trip hop song. So I'm actively trying to figure out how to invest in the song without going, falling into little traps like that. So we'll see, I guess is what I'm getting at. I don't know yet.
Well, I'm really looking forward. You gotta let me know when this comes out.
All right.
I'm gonna listen.
Right.
So Brian Ember is here on Acoustic Thursday at Studio 51 on WNHH-FM, your home for community radio, 103.5 FM, live streamed at nhh.org. What you got next for us, Brian?
This song is, again, another one where I'm using metaphors that maybe have aged out of the youthful set.
By the way, I don't think the other one aged out.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay.
But this is a love song that I had written where I used tropes from the Just Say No 1980s
That is
era.
a little bit out of date.
Yeah, it's way out of date. And it's
now it's just say yes, but here's like free needles.
right, exactly.
And Narcan.
Yeah, so this is called peer pressure.
All right.
Let me give in to your peer pressure, oh baby, let me give in. I'll do anything you ask, name the sin. Let me give in to your peer pressure, oh baby, let me give in. I'll do anything you ask, name the sin. I'll take anything you're taking, pass the bottle around. I wouldn't dare say no to you. Pass that pocket knife my way, I'll carve our names into the booth. I get excited by the way you're flustered, talking to me. Let me give in to your peer pressure, oh baby, let me give in. I'll do anything you ask, name the sin. Let me give in to your peer pressure, oh baby, let me give in. I'll do anything you ask, name the sin. The conceits that I held onto, I don't want them anymore. Please let me give in to desire. Okay, maybe just this one time, maybe it'll be okay. Is it going to be one time? Are you sure that it's just one time? I don't want it to be one time, oh baby. Please let me give in to your peer pressure. Oh, baby, let me give in. I'll do anything you ask. Name the sin. Let me give in to your peer pressure. Oh, baby, let me give in. I'll do anything you ask. Name the sin. Everybody's doing it. 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 We could both be doing it.
Peer Pressure. Brian Ember live in the studio at WNHH-FM on Acoustic Thursday. That was a fun song. Is that a new one?
Yeah, that's another one off the new album.
Oh,
yeah.
good. So you're previewing them.
I'm previewing all of this. Yeah, it's almost all new stuff. Well,
So did this start? Sometimes you you get inspiration, you get a line. Sometimes
Yeah.
people build a song around, like sometimes not. I'll do anything you need. Ask, just name the sin. You kind of knew you had something there, right? You knew
Yeah,
you had a line.
I was noodling around and I was experimenting with indulging. Let me put it that way. and
then you picked a kind of like almost American songbook. I don't know, with the major seventh chords and the kind of diminished chords and everything. Gave it a soft jazzy sound, or no?
Yeah. I've been embracing my inner balladeer. I still write some crazy hard songs and fast-paced songs, but there's an arc going on. I think the Brian Ember persona began out of a kind of a rough time, and
You feel like saying what that is? It's okay.
it was a divorce, with kids.
That's
15-year
hard.
divorce
Oh my
was not
God.
easy.
I mean, after 15 years of marriage.
Yeah.
That's tough.
The 15-year divorce, that sounds like it took 15 years to settle. No, and so that kind of began, especially when you're divorcing in your 40s, an embarkment of, hey, what's going on, figuring yourself out, and, 8 years of that. So it's, it's 6 years.
So you're in a quieter place now? Is your music?
I guess, what's interesting is I told my partner that, the Brian Ember thing, that the albums might end with this upcoming one. I might finish the project as a persona, just because the arc of the narrative of the 3 records has kind of completed. I think the last song I play will be the one. It's called The One, and it's really the, everything's good. I've
so
found
finding your way out.
Yeah, finding
the
your
only
way
way
out.
out is through. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So this was
That's
my
nice.
through. These 3 albums were my through. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's kind of cool how music could do that for you and then for the listener.
I hope so. that was the other impetus was, if I'm feeling this way and I don't know any songs about my terrible experience right now, I should write some so that other people who are also having a terrible experience can sympathize and go, oh, I'm not alone. I'm not the only person going through this.
Well, I'm happy you're through.
Tell
me about your guitar, Gretsch.
So this is the Gretsch Ranger Falcon. I bought it a couple years ago. It is the first guitar that I guess I really chose this guitar carefully. It is an all white guitar with gold sparkly trim and an eagle on the headstock, and it's like got gold tuning keys, and it's ostentatious.
It looks almost like Buddy Holly. It looks like that era.
It has a real
rockabilly look.
Yeah, it has a great flavor to it. Look wise, it sounds really nice.
What do you like about when you play? Do you like having good close action? What are you looking for when you have a guitar?
Honestly, I have huge hands. That's the thing. I'm looking for a guitar that can suit my body type.
So you don't want the frets too close together.
Exactly. I want a neck that I can get my fingers around and feel like I'm comfortably, because I have a really wide.
Is that partly why you write more with subtlety within the chords? Like you play all 6 strings of the chords. You don't play just 2 strings for rhythm.
That's also because I'm left-handed and my right hand playing is terrible.
But you don't do a Paul McCartney and switch it.
No, you know why? Because I tried for the first 40 years of my life to be a conformer. I tried to belong so hard. So I remember getting my first guitar and actually playing it left-handed. And I remember my mom looking at me and going, "Oh, I don't think that's the way you're supposed to play that." And she turned it around. And I was like, "Oh, that's a lot harder." But I had to learn it that way. So now I'm really great at chords. I can pop a ninth and a seventh.
I noticed. Yeah. But what about the right hand? How did you make up
I'm
for
just I'm just strumming up and down. That's
But you got it. You got it.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
working.
I can do it to the rhythm, but I mean, it's my finger picking is really, really tough. It takes a lot of hard work to get.
That's so
to get
interesting.
done. Yeah.
So one other thing I was thinking about. So you're classically trained. You said you still write string quartets.
Yeah.
So you write classical music as well.
I do. I've written for everything from voice and piano to string quartets to full orchestra.
And then how does guitar become the basic instrument for these songs? Do you compose on the guitar or just certain music?
I think the new album, the first two records, it's a lot of guitar writing. This third, the most recent thing that I've been working on, I was just listening to all the tracks for the first time, all in a row, and I noticed how many piano songs I had in there. I really did move to the piano a lot for the third record.
Is that because both hands have something to say? Or?
I think it's because I got a really good Wurlitzer electric piano for like $100 from a friend. And,
wow.
And it inspired me. And I think that's where some of that soft jazz comes in too.
And it's also kind of fun of how a new instrument can inspire you to play.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Like, has the Scratch had any impact on your playing?
On my performing live, yes. It's been a lot easier, and to play live with this. I had a Fender Dreadnought before that, and it was it kept going out of tune all the time, and it kept it wasn't the greatest.
And that
guitar.
was electric.
That was an acoustic. Yeah, I have
acoustic,
a
okay.
Gretsch electric too.
And just so you talked about performing live, you were playing at Never Ending Books
Tonight.
Tonight,
yeah.
all right.
Tonight at 7 p.m.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
okay.
so I'm playing along with Sarah Dunn and a band out of New London called A Former Friend.
And then what about after that?
After that, we're going to be in New London at the Oasis on July 26th.
Oasis, July 26th.
Yeah, and then after that, you're going to love this. I'm singing in Wagner's Ring Cycle. I'm playing the role of Alberich, the bad guy, in both Das Rheingold and Götterdämmerung. So
when and where is that?
That's going to be in Brattleboro, Vermont, right up 91.
Fun.
So it's a 2-hour hike up here, but it's worth it. And I definitely check it out and get tickets. It's a lot of fun. It's in a beautiful theater, the Latches, up in Brattleboro. And
it's a nice town. I like
that. It's fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to that.
So you want to do one more or two?
Let's do one more because I know we've got a half hour. So this is a song called The One.
The One. All right. And it also come from the upcoming EP.
This is on
I'm psyched that you brought us to do stuff.
Yeah, I'm giving
right.
you all new stuff. I'm teasing everybody here. Yeah. Skeleton fingers tickle my nose. I know that you're the one. A tombstone pariah, you're my dread's antidote. I know that you're the one. Be here, oh, be here. Be here. Opulent pleasure, taste in my nose. I know that you're the one. Food courts were prison for hope when we were young. I know that you're the one. Be here, oh, be here, be here. skeleton fingers touch the tip of my tongue. I know that you're the one.
The One from Brian Ember. Food courts for prisons for hope.
Yes.
When we were young. That's poetic.
Thank you.
It says a lot about our generations.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to food courts? Are they still?
I mean, the malls are actually. I have to say, the malls are dying, obviously, and a lot of them are closing down or becoming other things. And I have never enjoyed the Connecticut Post Mall more. I go there, and there are a lot of independent businesses who have taken up shop fronts there now. A lot of black-owned businesses.
This is interesting.
An Egyptian suit store there that is amazing. It has some of the craziest suits I've ever seen in my life. They're fantastic. Yeah, so the mall is wonderful. I love it.
Well, I've loved chatting with you. I loved hearing this new music.
Thank you so much for having us.
Where can people find your music online?
We're all over the place on Spotify and Bandcamp and Apple Music.
Just look for Brian Ember.
Tidal, Brian, Brian Ember, Brian Ember. Yep.
And then tonight, Thursday night, July 11th.
Yep.
7 p.m.
Yep.
At
Never Ending Books,
on
Volume
State
2.
Street.
Yep.
So I don't know if the article, I don't think will be out yet, but if you're listening to this today, either live at noon or replay this afternoon, 7 p.m. But if you're reading this later or you're watching later, July 26th, you could see Brian playing this music in New London at the Oasis.
Yeah.
Well, I am so honored that you took the time out.
Oh my God, I'm delighted. Thank you.
Loved hearing about what's going through your mind when you're playing all that great music today.
Thank you.
And I'm glad you made it to the end of the cycle. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks to Harry Droz, the best station manager in the multiverse. We're going to take it out with the Afro-Semitic Experience performing I Wish I Knew How It Would Feel to Be Free from the group CD A Plea for Peace. This is Paul Bass inviting you to fly free with us all day, all night, and all weekend long at WNHH, New Haven's home for community radio.